You know, I truly feel like we are living in actual clown world when it comes to trying to find any piece of technology to entertain us just for a few hours after being in our wage cage for most of the entire day. Yeah, it's going to be one of those crazy Alex is mad videos. Buckle up. You see, we've been covering everything on this channel. The RAM crisis, the insane prices of SSDs, GPUs being locked out of consumers and no longer being in production, massive price hikes across the board for practically every single PC component. And to make matters worse, they're not the only ones being impacted. Xbox and PlayStation increasing the price of their consoles multiple times this generation, making it more financially viable to buy your system at the beginning of the gen rather than waiting for the inevitable price drop that we've had for the past 40 years, 6 years into the actual console generation. Imagine paying $1,000 for stuff that we had back in 2018 and 2019 in terms of graphics. Absolutely insane, especially on a console level. But the problem doesn't just stop there. There's also massive amounts of pressure being placed on companies like Valve to go around and price the Steam machine at an affordable rate. And with all of this going on, one thing is absolutely clear. There's going to be some price issues and concerns when the Steam machine actually releases. If you think I'm kidding, look at the Steam Deck. It's almost impossible to find on Valve's own website right now because of everything going on. And this is why I want the Steam machine to succeed, even though it's not as powerful as my main PC, even though it's not as strong as the majority of the pro consoles right now. It's not about the actual performance of that system, but more about the optimizations and even the ability to provide customers and consumers actual proper hardware that they can own at an affordable price, if it even is affordable. My guess is it's going to be around $750. At the very low end, $699. On the high end though, I can definitely see this thing hitting around $900, especially with what's been happening recently. And there's a reason why I bring up things like pricing of components, the cost of the Steam machine, and even PC gaming in general being incredibly difficult to afford. It's because now companies are trying to find every single possible way of going around and screwing you as a customer every single time, pretending that they've got a good deal, pretending like they're the ones that are going to help you out, and giving you the ability to rent to own your own PC. Doesn't that sound like a great idea? Well, it is, until you see the scam. It's because now companies are doing everything they possibly can to sell you more product, pretend it's a good thing, and then on the back end, literally scam you every single time. And it's not just one company doing it, it's multiple, and it's the ones that you'd least expect. You see, back in March, we saw this tweet from videocards.com and this rumor going around about Nvidia putting out a 9GB GeForce RTX 5050 card. Not even a better version of that or adding more VRAM to their other line of GPUs. No, we're getting a 5050 with 9 gigs. Thanks, Nvidia. You guys are the best. Way to go, bros. You really solved the problem there. But the thing is, though, it doesn't stop at the 5050, because even though Nvidia has been going around and stating on their own that they are in the best position to be in with the entire crisis happening with RAM, it really goes to show that they literally do not give a f. According to WCCF Tech saying this, Nvidia is preparing 2 new models of the GeForce RTX 5060 Ti and RTX 5060 graphics cards, now equipped with 9GB of memory. Nvidia's AICs are expected to introduce both cards around May and June. This is driving me completely up the wall. We are watching in real time as memory is being divvied out in smaller portions in order to charge you more money, yet give you less product every single time. And we're seeing it happen over and over again. And people wonder why I want the Steam machine to succeed, even though it is a limited piece of hardware. We'll get to that, trust me. Seeing Nvidia being as greedy as absolutely possible truly is one of the funniest things we've seen the past 6 to 8 months. You know what? I'd probably say even when everything took off, when OpenAI was in fact introduced to the world. It's honestly incredibly comedic and also incredibly sad all at the same time. Instead of Nvidia putting out a better product, instead of giving you more VRAM on your cards, what they're doing is rationing it off to you and siphoning it out, and then asking, probably more than likely, for more money because of it. But the thing is though, all of this looks like it could be a plan that Nvidia has been cooking up for quite some time. Because QNDZY on Twitter says this: Nvidia is developing a new tech called neurotextural compression that cuts VRAM usage by 85%. Imagine if they actually launch a 6090 with only 8 GB of VRAM because of this tech. And you know what? I could totally see Nvidia doing this. I could absolutely watch them as seeing Jensen get up on stage and say, guys, we've got the 6070. That's right, 5090 performance for $499. We're doing this again, Electric Boogaloo Part 2. Even though what they're probably going to be saying is, oh, it'll hit that performance with a limited VRAM pool using our neural texture compression technology and also 6x frame gen and DLSS ultra performance when we take a resolution image of 480p and scale it up to 4K. And it looks just as good. Don't mind the artifacting or ghosting, by the way. We promise we'll fix it in post. Yeah, look. Nvidia is not one to be trusted, and neither are so many other companies in the PC gaming space or the gaming space whatsoever. Going around and potentially releasing a 9 GB GPU in 2026 is absolutely abhorrent, and then creating this technology to compress textures to use less VRAM is not because you want to do right by the gamer or still have 8 GB GPUs be viable. No, you want 8 GB GPUs to be viable because you want all that RAM to go back into AI data centers and sell those companies more GPUs and more things with VRAM with higher capacity so you can make more money off of them and increase that bubble before it actually bursts. But the problem though, it's not just Nvidia. No, You see, it looks like other PC companies, especially one AIB, is now in a heap of hot water after getting exposed a few months back. And you'll never believe who it is. According to Insider Gaming, NZXT is to pay out $3.45 million in a settlement over PC rental program. Watching a company like NZXT, who many people truly believe is one of the better AIBs, even though we've seen their own PCs literally catch fire multiple times, mind you, and the fact that this AIB is one of the bigger ones in the actual space, it really goes to show that these companies are doing everything they can to make you own nothing and be happy, being stuck on a service, even on specific pieces of hardware, while every other company is using those data centers to now stream content to you rather than provide you the actual product that you in fact want to pay for. And then people wonder and look at me and say, why do you want a Steam machine, Alex? It's 8 GB of VRAM and literally can play only indie games. Well, this is why. I don't want to rent hardware. I want to buy it one time, I want to buy it from a good company, and I want the damn thing to actually work. I don't understand why this is so hard. I got criticized on my channel recently because apparently I'm a Steam fanboy. You let me know when Valve and Steam f up and then I'll call them out. Don't worry. I'll wait. Still here? You're probably going to be here for a while, by the way. Don't worry. And that's really what it is. The one company still in the PC gaming space that is actually putting the customer and consumer first is the one people are apparently wanting to attack. Who knew that would be a successful business strategy? But apparently NZXT didn't know that for all, because here's what happened. with the article from Insider Gaming saying this: NZXT, the company known for its pre-built PCs and other components, and its partner Fragile have agreed to pay a $3.45 million settlement for a class action lawsuit that was brought against the companies. The lawsuit claimed that NZXT's Flex PC rental program was designed to, quote, scam customers who are looking for a modern gaming PC. Announced in July of 2024, the system was met with harsh criticism almost immediately. The noise became so loud that NZXT CEO publicly responded to customer concerns regarding the rent-to-own, parts used in the machines, and more. That wasn't enough, however, as 3 customers filed a complaint in August of 2025 against the company. The lawsuit alleged that NZXT and Fragile, the company's payment partner, participated in bait and switch mechanics to defraud customers. The lawsuit alleges defendants accomplished their PC rental scheme through a bait and switch, where defendants advertised PCs with specific components and attributes but provided consumers with lower quality components PCs, and misrepresented the nature of the program, including that there were no contracts, no cancellation fees, that customers would own the PC, and leading customers to reasonably believe the program was a rent-to-own agreement. First of all, we have to do this because clearly Tech Jesus has been going around and pushing for the entire thing happening. Gamers Nexus was one of the first YouTube channels to even understand what was happening with NZXT and call them out directly. That channel is also incredibly pro-consumer and clearly understands exactly what issues are happening in the PC gaming space, especially with how companies are trying to scam you every single time. And it honestly couldn't happen to a nicer company, if you ask me. Imagine being NZXT and creating an entire scheme and a plan to keep people hooked onto your PCs over and over again, then going around and asking other YouTubers to be sponsored by them, thinking it was a good deal. If you haven't watched that video by Gamers Nexus, I suggest you do so. All the while going around and basically proving that the entire thing was basically just made up in order to go ahead and keep customers hooked on continually higher payment plans over and over again. All the while giving you components that weren't matching what you're paying for, and at the same time charging you more money and trying to force you to upgrade so that way you stay on their payroll for longer. And that's my big problem with all of this. Companies no longer want to just sell you the product and then get your money and then finish the transaction. Those days apparently are long gone. Now companies want to go around and put you on a payment plan, a service plan if you will. Oh, you can be with us for 5 years. Why spend $2,000 on a PC up front when you can give us, I don't know, $50 a month, $60 a month? I mean, it's not that bad, right? It's a couple of Starbucks cappuccinos every month instead. You can make a sacrifice of your avocado toast. Yeah, I just did the whole like boomer head thing. I don't know, dude. I'm really tired. Just deal with it, okay? We're going to go on with this. And you know what? No, I don't want a payment plan. I don't want another monthly payment, period. I want to pay for the product. I want to have it be exactly how it was advertised to me with the proper components inside of it. And then I want to be done. I don't want to sign up for your service. I don't want to sign up for your streaming app. I don't want to have any other thing apply to it. And no, you don't need my fucking email address either. Look, I know I'm doing an entire like old man yells at cloud kind of thing because every single person who's a lot younger than me, I'm 43 by the way, is totally okay and acceptable with this kind of thing, but clearly they shouldn't be. You have companies like NZXT going around and scamming people every single day. And honestly, we're incredibly lucky that this was caught, and it will hopefully put a huge damper in the entire thing in the first place. The problem is this though, so many other companies are trying to do the exact same thing. Look at PlayStation raising the price of their PS5 Pro to $900. Look at Xbox increasing the cost of their Game Pass service to $30 a month. And now people are celebrating the potential rumor of them reducing that price overall. Even though Microsoft is a company that many people should still not trust, because what they could be doing instead is giving you an ad-supported tier that you still pay a lower monthly fee for. And then the inevitable rumors of Project Helix being $1,000 to $1,200 as well, and forcing people into that actual streaming tier of services rather than to actually own their video games that people want to purchase and keep in their libraries, whether digital or physical. And all of this, everything, all comes down to why I am so backed and behind the Steam Machine. Again, it may not be the most powerful PC, it may not be the best PC, it may not be dual 5090s and a 9950 X3D2 with my in the face of it. I don't know, bro. It's just like, people are so obsessed with trying to get that most high-end piece of tech hardware that really they don't understand what is actually beneficial for them or what they truly want to have in their system in the first place. But like I was saying before I got sidetracked due to ADHD, it's a problem. I know. I don't care that the Steam Machine is not as powerful or as strong, or in fact may be a little bit more expensive. It'll actually be the one PC device that I'll have for myself and in the future that I'll actually own. And that's all that people want. They want to pay for something and they want to own it. And that's exactly why people are truly getting behind and are scared about this new future where you'll own nothing and in fact be happy. But what I really love about the Steam Machine is how it is actually putting batteries in the back of the entire gaming industry to finally get their shit together. Because according to Games Radar Plus, the PlayStation 6 rumors suggest the next console war will be fought on a completely new battlefield, and the Steam Machine might be in prime position. With the article saying this, it's a battle for ecosystem that could come to define the next generation of play. After all, Xbox's Project Helix is going all in on Windows, positioning in the market, offering a hybrid console and PC design that can take over the living room while falling back on the ROG Xbox Ally handhelds for portable play. Microsoft's ill-fated "this is an Xbox" marketing campaign was on the right lines, even if it was veering off in the wrong direction. The cash really will be in the storefronts you choose, not the hardware you play it on. It also means Valve is going to lumber onto the console battlefield for the first time, and I can easily see a future where it scoops up the trophy. The Steam Machine is already on pace to beat the PlayStation 6 to market, though that window is closing a little quicker, and with RAM shortages and component pricing through the roof, it could well bring a generation of PC players with it, as the cost of buying and upgrading PC parts continues to skyrocket with no sign of slowing. Many are looking to pre-build solutions instead. If you spent years building up a Steam library, you're not exactly going to throw it away for PlayStation when the battle for the living room begins. Hell, even Xbox co-creator is more hyped for the Steam Machine than Project Helix. And look at that, even Games Radar can see the forest from the trees, especially with what's been going on. Every company wants to have an ecosystem. The problem is that the ecosystem that they're building is nowhere even close to what Valve and Steam have actually done. To make matters even worse, like the article also pointed out, people were looking to pre-builds. And who do they look for? NZXT and so many others, and instead of finding a good deal which they thought would have been good for them for renting to own, instead they got scammed, and now NZXT is on the hook for over $3 million on a payout. You need to be more cautious and more aware of what's happening in the gaming industry as a customer right now, because clearly every company is trying to scam you 6 ways from Sunday and to hell and back on a saddle. And when you look at a company like Valve, who's had a track record of 20 years, let's be honest about this, okay? For the first 10 years that Steam was out, they were relentlessly shit on every day, day in, day out by their entire user base, myself included, until they finally got their act together and started doing the right thing. And that right thing was putting the customer first, especially doing whatever they could to make their user experience better overall and place you as the main point of reason why they should in fact do specific things. Now look, they've had some fumbles. Remember Artifact? Ooh, yeah, I do. And they're definitely not perfect. But the thing is, Valve is not trying to go around and give you a rent-to-own Steam machine, where the machine that they're giving you, that they're charging you for, isn't the actual device that you in fact paid for or are paying for. They're just instead saying, you know what, this is the device, here's the price that we got to deal with, and that's what it is. And I think a lot of people are going to look at that and say, you know what, if I'm going to spend $750 or even $900 on a device, I at least want to make sure the company that's selling me the product isn't trying to me every single chance they possibly get. And with Steam sales, Steam support, and everything else happening across the board, the Steam machine looks like a definite competitor, not because of the raw power it produces, but because of the ecosystem and Valve's entire mantra on how they treat you as a customer. And to make matters even crazier, it looks like we might even be getting the Steam controller before the machine itself. According to Tech Power-Up, Steam may be planning the launch of the latest Steam controller soon as it stocks up warehouses with retail units. With the article from Tech Power-Up saying this: since Valve announced the Steam Machine, Steam Frame, and new Steam controller, gamers have been clamoring for the launch of the updated hardware, especially the Steam controller. While Valve has yet to announce the release date or even the price, it seems as though the gaming giant is preparing for the launch of the new controllers in the US. According to Industry Insider, sadly it's Bradley on X, recent shipping documents indicate that Valve has just received its first large quantity imports of a wireless PC controller, suggesting that the company may be stocking up warehouses in preparation for the Steam controller's launch. With Brad Lynch on Twitter saying this: looks like Valve received the first large quantity of imports of wireless PC controllers last week. Baby Yoda says, what's your source? Brad says, public import records. But I will say this though, if Valve can make the Steam machine a comparable price and put it out to where people can in fact go through and actually own the device itself, you're going to see a lot of pressure being applied, not just to the console gaming space, not just to the PC gaming space, but also to other companies in the space in general. And also especially on companies like Microsoft and Sony, who are going to have to go through and put out a better overall experience for their users if they're going to try and compete with a company like Valve in the first place. NZXT completely screwing over the customers, creating an actual scam, removing ownership is exactly what I don't want in the gaming space. And it's also exactly why so many PC components and consoles are costing more money. Companies trying to scam you on a consistent basis. And honestly, I'm here to help call them out, and I'll be damn sure to do it every single time. But you know what? I want to hear what you guys got to say. Did you pick up an NZXT pre-built? Are you looking at pre-builts overall? Or are you going to wait for the Steam machine? I want to know what you guys think. Speaking about what you think, here in fact is the comment of the day from yesterday's video. With Oats716 saying this: these companies will do everything for our money except the things we actually tell them we want. Boom, there goes the dynamite, baby. That's exactly what we're seeing every single time, and what we're seeing even right now in front of our own very eyes. But as always, if you want to see more of this kind of content though, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, and even live streams, subscribe to the channel. Now look, if you want Discord access or emotes during live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, don't sweat it. Just come on down to the live streams Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, right here on the channel, as I wear a banana suit and get insulted with TTS, live for your viewing pleasure, to be basically humiliated for about 5 hours. It's a hell of a show. You really don't want to miss it. Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on the channel. And look, if you want even more of me, that's what she said, check out Oh No It's Alex Gaming. I upload a video there every single Monday, usually on a topic concerning the gaming industry itself. Not really news focused, but more along the lines of just ideas that I have in the gaming space or specific games that I'm talking about, and potentially maybe even streaming there daily. So definitely check it out. With all that being said though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!